Hey, what's up? This is Jordan Harris, the Mediocre Millionaire. Today's video is about a pretty cool award that I received. I guess it was about a month or so ago. So I'll bring it into camera here. It's the SBA, so that's the United States Small Business Administration Business Person of the Year for the state of Kansas. So every year they recognize one person from every state. And we go to Washington, D.C., and they recognize us there. They give us this award and have a few different events and things like that. So it was real cool. Kind of hard to believe, hard to process for a little while, because if you know what our story is like, if you know anything about our journey, it's been all over the place. Whole lot of downs, but plenty of ups. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the highs, obviously. So there were a few different topics, a few different questions that I wanted to make sure to cover about this award. And one of those questions is, why is it important to show this type of thing on this channel? It's not about bragging. It's not about showing things off. I just think it's important for people to show and prove. Like, I see people on YouTube all the time talking about explaining what people should do, explaining how people should do it. And I'm always like, well, where are your accolades? Like, how do I know that you've actually done what you're talking about doing? And this is one of those ways that I can prove that what I talk about, I actually do it. Whether it's showing people how to manage their money on a weekly basis, or if it's about how to start your business, or about how to scale your business. The things that I talk about, I actually do them myself. So I'm not just a consultant who's teaching people how to do things based on something that I read. This is stuff that I've actually learned through trial and error. This is stuff that I actually do every single day, and obviously it works. We live in we live in our dream house. We drive our dream car. We have office spaces and plenty of employees that can prove that show and proves that what we're talking about, we're not just talking, we actually walk it too. So that's why it's important for me to show these kind of things. Another part of why it's important is, I tell people all the time, it's not about being a brainiac. It's not about having a college degree. A lot of it is about effort. A whole lot of it is about determination, and also being disciplined enough to follow a plan long term. You don't have to be incredibly smart to start your own business and have success. You don't have to have rich parents or rich uncles or someone to tell you how to do every single step. A lot of the time it's just jumping out, trying something, and when that doesn't work, redirect and learning something different or doing something different. That's all it is. So talking about this award, how or why did I win it? A lot of people have asked me that, like, well, how did you get put up for this award? There were some people in the SBA who knew about my story. They knew about how my wife and I were unemployed. They knew how I went and bought this vacuum cleaner from Walmart. They heard about how I knocked on doors, and then, they know how we started in 2015 to having 100 plus employees today and owning multiple businesses that do $1 million plus a year. So knowing that story, the guy reached out to me. He was like, hey, I think you would be a perfect candidate for this award. You just have to fill out this information here and send the application there. So that's what I did. I just filled out the application. Took me maybe an hour or so and sent it off. I got a call maybe 2 weeks later saying, hey, your paperwork, it passed the first stage. So now it's going off to Washington, D.C. So they can look over all the different candidates that we have in Kansas, and we'll let you know if you end up winning the award. So about a month after that, I did get a phone call saying you won the award, which was kind of crazy, to be honest with you. I'm like, what? Like, me? But yeah, that's how and why I ended up winning. It's based on your story as well as your business projections. So if your business is failing, you're having tax issues, your employees don't have positive things to say about you, your clients don't have positive things to say about you, then you won't win this type of award. That goes into account. So it's your business projection, and then also your story. Those are the things that I guess that's how they choose who wins these awards. The best part of winning this award has been the trip to DC. I've never been to Washington, DC before. My wife had never been. My kids had never been. So we were able to take my family went, my mother-in-law, my mom. We were all able to go to Washington, D.C. for about a week or so and go and tour all the monuments, all the things that you just see like in the books and stuff that you read about or see on TV. It was pretty cool actually seeing it live in person, like the MLK statue, the Lincoln statue, like all that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool to see that in person. So that was probably the coolest part of this award, is being able to go on that trip. Also, that ceremony that we had was pretty crazy too, because I'm extremely low maintenance. I don't come from money. I don't come from a bunch of fancy stuff. So whenever I walk into a building and there's people walking around like you see on TV with the silver dish, and then they've got like all these hors d'oeuvres and stuff on it, and they're asking like, hors d'oeuvres, sir? Or they got a silver plate with champagne glass on it and they're asking if you want, like, I've never been in anything like that before. So that was pretty crazy. Looking at my wife and seeing her eyes like silver dolls, that was pretty crazy. You know, like we not from that. We're real low maintenance and simple people. So it's not something that I'd probably want to do every day or every year even. I think I've probably had my fair share for probably the next 5 years of that. But it was pretty cool to be able to see that and have my kids and my wife and everybody experience it. While most people were there doing like a bunch of networking and passing cards out and stuff, I just took the time to show my wife, my kids, and my mom a really good time. So everybody's out there passing out cards and shaking hands and meeting people, trying to get business deals done. I was in a whole different section of the building where they had mirrors from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, and they had gold trim around the mirrors, like these big, huge, fancy rooms. And while people are passing cards out, my kids were in the room. Like my daughter was in the mirror doing ballerina spins, and my little 18-month-old son was running between the chairs, laughing and giggling, screaming and hollering. And we were the only people in the whole place that had kids. So, excuse me, my whole thing was I wanted to go and enjoy. I didn't want to try to make business sales. I didn't want to do business. I just wanted to let her hair down and chill for a little bit. So that was real cool. The toughest part, I am an introvert, so I really don't like doing press and stuff like that. But being that this was a national award, our local news, like, it was crazy. Like my phone would not stop ringing. People trying to do interviews or magazines wanting to do articles and stuff like that. I did a bunch of them because it helped their business. The phone still hasn't stopped ringing about people wanting to work with us now. So it helped the business a lot. But I'm an introvert at heart, so doing that kind of thing, it doesn't come natural to me. Like, I'm actually doing this video now. This used to be a struggle for me, but I like to put myself in tough situations because eventually it makes it easy. So, doing those like news press thing, I don't know what you can call them, but doing that stuff, having the news come to our office and interviewing me and asking me all these questions, one after another, I don't like that kind of thing, you know, but it helped the business, so I did it. But if anybody asks me what the toughest part of this whole thing has been, that's it. It's sitting down and doing interviews from one publication to the next, or going to the city council meeting and going up in front of everybody saying like, hey, I'm Jordan Harris. I won the award. Like, here's the award. And then dipping out the back door as quick as I possibly could. So that's the toughest part of it. That's pretty much it. I wanted to make sure I show you this because, one, like, I'm not the smartest person. I'm not. I do work really, really hard though. And that's part of how this award came to fruition. Is just I work really, really hard, and the people around me, like my brother, my wifey, they work really, really hard with me. And we're not scared to put ourselves in tough situations. We try things. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. So if you're sitting back and you're thinking about starting your own business, but you just don't think that you're ready because you don't have enough knowledge, because you don't have this, you don't have that, I promise you there's a way to get past whatever issue that's holding you back. a lot of the time it's just an excuse because you're scared to start. So my advice is just start today. Just do something. Give God something to work with, as my mom always says. Just give God something to work with. Start something small. Start taking those little baby steps, and eventually it'll grow into something huge. But yeah, once again, I just wanted to show you this award that we won. It was, crazy. It was crazy for me. I couldn't believe that we were given this national recognition for a janitorial company that we started in 2015 that grew into real estate and childcare and everything else. So that is all that I have for you today. As always, I appreciate the time. Please do take a second to like the video and subscribe, because we're going to continue giving this information out. So be easy. Take care. God bless. Peace.